did you determine that budget?
Or they might say, we'd like to pay $1,500 a month.
And how did you determine that?
Based on probably if they're renting, what they're paying right now.
That's fine. Did you think about the tax benefits or anything? Is that after the tax benefits or before your tax benefits?
Well, but you have to start somewhere. And if you're showing
I understand.
a community that has prices from $300,000 to $600,000 or from $150 to $300.
So if I'm looking at a community, and I'm really going to hit this one with you. If I'm looking at a community that's $500,000, and I say my budget is $1,500 a month, what are you saying to me?
Probably should be looking at another classic.
Really? I should be looking somewhere else. Huh. Did I tell you, by the way, I have $300,000 to put down? Ah.
Well, that's why I asked, because you can't just start talking about financials without doing a consumer notice.
We don't start doing anything until we build up trust and build a relationship with these people.
You're talking about qualifying them for payments.
I'm not talking about qualifying. I'm talking about informing them what a payment will run to them. Has anyone ever sit down with you and figured out what a home like this is going to cost you per month?
Okay. And then how do you get into the consumer notice? Because you can't say, well, how much are you going to put down and how much are you going to do this before you get into a consumer notice.
Okay.
Okay.
And so you could do that as you're doing this. If you really need to, you could say, has anyone ever sat down and figured out how much this home is going to cost you per month? And they say, well, no. So you know what? I'd love to do this. Pennsylvania law, could you just sign this consumer notice saying that I'm going to be able to give you some numbers?
Yeah, but we're not going to go over the consumer notice?
Yeah, you're going to go over to it at that point.
Okay. All right.
At that point. But there's no sense of...
You're saying we're doing this as we're walking through the home?
No, not the numbers. No. That's a sit down, come back to my desk. And in fact, while you're going through the home, a lot of your trial closes as you're going through the home. Someone says to you, man, I love these cabinets. And they say, how much are those cabinets? And you say to them, what is that? Not those cabinets, the other cabinets. How much are the other cabinets? Not the ones that are included. How much are the other ones?
Oh, I'll get a price for you.
You'll get a price for me. Or, is that something that's important to you? Yes, it is. You know what? After we finish showing you the home, we'll go back to my office, we'll go back to my desk, and we'll figure out what this home is going to cost you. We'll build this home on paper for you, and we'll figure out the cost. And at that point, what are you doing? You have, at that point, set the expectations that I am going back with you. That's what I'm doing. Why? Because you told me so. All right? Give me a 1-minute script.
Hello.
Go ahead. Thank you.
Okay. Hello.
Hi.
You want to do it this way?
Why don't you? What's your name?
Carlo?
Carlo? Do it with Carlo. Come right over here. Come over here. Come over here. Come over here. Come over here. Give him a round of applause. Carlo, get over here.
Come on, Carlo.
What do you think this was here?
Long distance.
Long distance, please. That's never worked.
I know.
Can I read?
You can read, yes, but you know what? Don't keep on backing up because that's not going to help you because that camera's zooming right in. So keep going right up here. That's all right. So,
Okay, so you heard a
and
knock.
loud so everyone can hear.
Okay, you heard a knock on the door.
There you go. Knock on the door. Come on in.
I'm not supposed to knock.
It's an open house. Come on in. You know, there's one in every crowd. Go ahead, Carlo. Go ahead.
Hi, welcome to Classic Communities
good
in
afternoon.
Meadowview Village.
Thank you.
I'm Pam Hopper.
Hi, I'm Carlo.
Hi, Carlo.
Nice to meet you, Pam.
Nice to meet you. Did you hear about us on our website?
No, just driving through the neighborhood and saw your sign, thought I'd come in.
Oh, great. Well, that's wonderful. Carlo, about how much time do you have today?
Oh, stop! Thank you. That was beautiful. All right, have a seat. We're going to get to the other people.
Good.
How much time do you have today? A great question, right? Well, I've only got 5 minutes because I've got the windows rolled up, the heat blasting, and I've got an infant in the car.
No.
Ooh.
Have a nice day.
Do you have a little bit more time than that? Because I need to call the cops on you.
Yeah.
But other than that, we're all good. All right? Great question. If you don't have that question in your first minute, I love it. All right? Great question. What was that question? How much time do you have today? Use it. Rob, come over here. What's your name?
Matt.
Matt. Why don't you guys go over here? Rob, you're the salesperson. Give me your first 30 seconds here. He's an easy sell?
No money.
He will after listening today, though, so he'll be able to sell much more. Go ahead.
All right. Welcome to Little Meadows.
Thank you.
My name's Rob Adler. How'd you hear about the open house today?
I was searching the internet and narrowed it down. This is the neighborhood I like, so
Excellent.
there's one of three that I like. This is one of them. So.
Well, we're trying to make this number one for you.
All right, very good.
What price range were you looking for out here?
All right. Stop right there. Have a seat. Give them a round of applause. All right. What price range are you looking for? I'm gonna give that. I don't personally like that question because it puts me in a box right away. See? What price range are you looking for? Well, I'm looking for $200,000 to $250,000. Now, if I was to say that to you, I want to be in that $2 to $250 range, what would be your next question?
Excellent.
Great. Why? Because that's the price he's selling, right? What's the question that should be asked? If I'm going into a home and I see a sign that says from the 2 to 250s, and I go to Rob and I say, Rob says to me, what price range are you looking in? Well, the sign out front says between 2 and 250. So I'm looking in that 2 to 250 range. Possibly not. Let's just listen where I'm going with this. I promise I'm going somewhere with this. All right? If you're going to ask that question, what's the question you should ask afterwards?
What do you want to get for that?
Not what do you want to get for that. What kind of home? No. We hit it before over there, okay? We hit it before. No. No. That's no. No. Can you afford anything? I've got a nickel. Would you like it?
The best value. How about, are you looking for a 4-bedroom, 2.5?
Would you looking for a 4-bedroom? No. It's not the answer I'm looking for. Can someone over there give me the answer? Give me the answer.
Has anyone sat down with you and gone over the payment?
You're getting close. You're getting really warm. Give it to me. Thank you. That's just what we said before. How did you arrive at that number? You've got to know. And a lot of times they don't know the answer. So the answer is going to be, well, I saw the sign that said between 2 and 250. That's how you arrived at that number? I should have put up a sign that said from the 4 to 450s. Should have changed my sign if that's how you arrived at the number. Right? So we need to understand that. If you're going to ask a loaded question like that, then you've got to have a good follow-up question, because that's a very surface question. You've got to have a deeper one. Okay? You've got to take it down to a whole other level, all right, to really dig in there. Go ahead.
I have a question.
No. Anyway. No.
When I used to open house, this is one of the challenges that I had. If you're working with a prospect comes in and you're doing your best to demonstrate the home and spend a lot of time with them, like you said, get to that 40-minute mark. What do you do when, as you're 20 minutes in with Mr. and Mrs. Smith, another couple walks in, you say, excuse me, you introduce yourself to the other couple. Now you obviously have to go back to the people you
Okay.
So you say to them, I'm right now with another couple. Please feel free to look around. I'll be with you as soon as I can.
Great.
But they're out the door before I'm done with Mr.
We're going to solve that. Okay, we're going to solve that. That's a great question. It's not really where I wanted to go today, but I'm going to do it anyway. It's fine. How do we solve that? First of all, what has happened? What do you think has happened? What have you done instantly without even you having to do anything? Thank you. You have created urgency. No longer is Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the people you are with, the only people interested in this home. Someone else is now interested. They're going to buy your home. So how do I deal with them? Okay? It's a great problem to have. It means multiple people are coming in. It creates instant urgency when people come in. If you have 10 people in your model at the same time, man, you are golden if you could figure out how to deal with the traffic. All right? So how do we deal with that?
I try and get the first couple through to sit down at the table or on the couch and hand them the plans, and so they can look through the plans.
Okay. And how do you deal with that second couple?
And then I start taking the second couple through where the first couple's looking at the plans.
Okay. I'm going to get to you.
Well, I was going to say, while you're still working with that first couple, have a second couple that come in that, you know, maybe they register and I have some information I want to give you.
Okay.
Just to hold on.
We're getting close. Go ahead.
I've told them, feel free to listen.
Feel free to listen.
And that's exactly, just get them to interject in the conversation, and it typically gets them involved, and then you can get a whole group of people as they keep coming in to go to all the other units. While you're walking through with them, you can actually get 2, 3 people, groups of people into a grand tour, and it's hilarious.
Okay.
They end up knowing one another a lot of times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another way. How about, we are typically very, very busy on a Saturday or Sunday. This community has just been selling like there's no tomorrow. I'm already working with somebody. They're here because they had an appointment. What I'd like to do is, if you can register, and why don't we set up an appointment right now so you can come back and I can be fair to you and give you the same amount of attention and time that I'm giving to the other people that I'm doing right now, that I'm working with right now.
But I thought this was an open house.
And the first
And you know what?
you were just talking to, no, you just lied about the fact.
Well, they're not. If they're not listening, but either way, so you don't have to go that way. But you can say, you know what? They came in. You could go to totally the opposite way, and you could say, they came in. They were here. I've already been with these people a really good amount of time. I need to continue with these people. If it's okay, can we set an appointment? Yeah, the open house is here from 1 to 4. But you know what? I'll gladly, can you come back at 4:30? In fact, and I've seen this done before too. You know what? There's a Starbucks down the block. Here's a Starbucks card. I've seen. Look, you might think it's crazy.
I'm here now.
Here's my map.
No, I just walked in the door. I'm not coming back in 3 hours. I just showed up. I made the trip from York.
I understand that, but let's be realistic, okay?
It's realistic.
So people are coming in and they're that. I've got to see this home now.
Normally they say, like most people say, if you say, hey, I'm talking to these people, they already know you're talking to them.
Right.
We'll look around. We'll be with you when you're done with them.
And that's fine too if they could stick around. But if they can't stick around because they've driven 3 hours, then there's not a whole lot you could do. I mean, there's no magic bullet. But I don't see somebody coming into a home saying, well, I'm here and I'm this angry and I just don't see it. I mean, you tell me. You were.
I said, if you lie in front of the first couple.
No.
Nobody in that.
Right, and you're not going to lie. You're not going to lie. But if they are truly have an appointment, that's okay. If they don't, however you want to handle it. But you do need to say, I am with a buyer.
We do that. A lot of times, what we do is that group tour. When somebody will walk in, I'll say, hi, I'm talking here with Tom and Tony here. Hey Tom and Tony, and they meet the other couple, and then we go.
Right, but I've seen instances. I've seen instances it could backfire because sometimes you get someone in the crowd who's not as it could be, and it could backfire. But I've seen also where I've gone into a community and the salesperson is sitting there running numbers with a prospect. If I'm sitting there and I'm running numbers here, I've got a real good chance of closing these people. Do I want to get up in the middle of it?
But I think the first couple also understands you are in an open house. So it's not just their time. And I think the right thing to do is make an appointment with that couple and say, hey, you know what, this is really, we're doing good here, but what I need to do is obviously you understand this is an open house as well. Let's set an appointment. And
if that works,
it's better, because what you don't want to do is push off the second couple to make them feel as if they're not important because you're already busy.
And that's a fair statement. So as long as we're setting an appointment for somebody, we can't just push. We can't ignore them to get to them. We can't ignore them to go this direction. Somehow we have to deal with an appointment. The group tour thing. See, the problem is with the group tour. Now it doesn't become about my needs. Now it's generic. It's more like showing Howe Caverns or going through, one of the Disney tours or something like that.
Bottom line, I think as a salesperson, you need to read the situation too. I mean, if I have someone that's ready to go, hey, I'm not going to get up and leave that person.
Right.
I kindly ask the other people, please be patient. You know, we're busy today. But if you have someone that's that close and ready to go, I don't know. I would close the deal before I got up.
I personally, I would too, because right, a bird in the hand is better than two in the bush.
The other people there before then you basically
You try to get you get their information.
not interested. Like if they just
You get their information.
I think Steve's right. You gotta just read the situation.
You do have to read the
If somebody
situation.
walks in 5 seconds, they can't give you 2 minutes of their time, they leave. How interested really are they in that?
Right.
Bottom line.
But there's no reason why you can't get them to get the information from you. Say, you know what, right now I'm with somebody, we're in the middle of whatever it is, can I just get some information from you? We could either set up an appointment, or I'll just give you a call after they leave, and maybe we could set an appointment to come back. It's a double-edged sword, because, you guys are only open 3 hours a week in a lot of your locations. I mean, that's not really, it's not fair to me as a prospect if you're open 3 hours a week. How could I really, and it's really not fair to you, because if you have a person who comes in at 1 o'clock, all right, and they are great, and you have done all the preliminary information, you've taken them through the home, they are relocating, they need to buy. All right? It's beautiful. And 10 other people are going through your home. And you think you might have lost those 10. But you're only open from 1 to 4, and these people are going back to Cleveland at 5 o'clock. You're not letting them go, are you?
No, I love your scenario. I can't tell you the last time I had
I'm
10 people.
Spring 2011.
I was saying 2006 call. They want some-
Right, 2006 called. They want their market back, right? All right. Hello. So it's like Back to the Future. All right, but in the instance that something like that does happen, you're not going to let that person leave. It's just not going to happen. So you have no choice. You're going to have to deal with those other 10 people. You're going to have to get appointments. Again, if we were open 5 days a week, 6 hours a day, wouldn't be an issue, because you'd be able to preset all those things.
A lot of times in those situations, which aren't in 2010 anymore, but a lot of times in those situations, a lot of people will wait. I've had people wait and then, have good substantive.
If people like what they see at the beginning, and they see that there's an urgency and there's a lot of people going through, they're like, whoa, wait a second here. We don't want to miss out on this. Maybe we'll sit around and we'll wait. That's fine too. Can I get you a cup of coffee in the meantime? Can I get you a cookie in the meantime? All right? Whatever. Cookies. You know what? I mean, tell you, a lot of sites have those Otis Spunkmeyer things in there.
We don't have cookies.
Go ahead. And then I got to get you, right?
Just a question about how you would go about it too. Say you're sitting there with the people, you're doing the stuff, you wave to them, you get up, but maybe have some pre-made packets that don't have pricing.
You could do that as well.
Just have some maybe generic information about the community, and then get them to fill out the card, pass them the generic information, and just say that, hey, I don't have the pricing here. It's because it's something that we need to sit down and go over. So
that's another way. And you know what? And since we're going, you had something, or did I miss you?
In that scenario where the second group comes in, that's where Pam's question would be great. When the second group comes in, if you say
how much time do you have? Oh, yeah.
Minutes, and you can say, well, can you give me about 10 more minutes? Look around, and then I'd like to have it.
Perfect. That's a great scenario.
What we try to do in a case like that is send somebody on task with something that they have to return with. So if it's a single-family community with individual plots, we'll have a book that has the individual plot plans.
Okay.
It says on there, does not leave model home. They're privileged, give it to them. They go out, send them on a task to go look at the details.
And they have something that they have to bring back.
Bring back.
Another good idea.
It's a key that's attached to something that they have to bring back. Even
Right.
if they're unlocked. Give them the key anyway. They have to come back. Like a halt.
Can we do this? We've got a little bit of time. What I would like to do, since we kind of addressed this, could we all take about 3 minutes and write up a 2-minute drill of how do I qualify somebody real fast to see if they're real or not? All right? This is a tough one. A 2-minute drill, or a 30-second drill just to see, are these people just tire kickers? Or are they here for real? Or are they here to look at the furniture? All right? Because we know we get those as well. Or the drapes. All right? Give me a 30-second drill. You have something?
This is after we go through the intro.
This is you could do this as the intro, you could do this after the intro, you could do this ideally we want to set this up is if you have a lot of people there. If you've got a line of people coming in the door, all right? And believe it or not, down in Maryland, there's a community that I work with in Prince George's County. Even in this market, they get 40 people a day. 40. 39 and a half of them do not qualify for these homes. But they have figured out how to deal with that traffic to figure out the one that does. Because that's a real skill to figure out where am I going to focus, where am I going to kind of point my laser, because I've got to kind of get rid of all this other stuff here. I got to get through it.
It's the one in the Mercedes.
It's the one in the Mercedes? In this community, could be. Yeah, we're not going to get through this. What? Yeah, absolutely. That's all we want. They left. Can't be that good. Oh, well, his wife left. What is that? That's okay. It's probably a good issue. Don't worry about it. You're fired. I'm going to Catonsville. I got 2 dogs I got to walk. The puppy. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. All right? You have a line of people coming in the door. You are dealing in this community that I really do. There's a community, it's in Prince George's County. It's a national builder. I think it's one of the toughest markets around over there in Prince George's County because you have the most motivated buyer that I have ever seen with the worst credit. Almost everyone that comes in is upside down on their existing home, so good luck trying to sell their home for $300,000 that they owe $500,000 for. But they all want. But if they could, they would buy today. And this community gets 40 people on a Saturday, 40 people on a Sunday, and during the week they're still popping numbers like 10 and 20. They get 100 and some odd people in per week. Could you imagine? In this day and age, they're still getting those kind of numbers. So how does this person, or how would you deal with that? And what a great problem to have. But obviously you'd want, when you start looking at your numbers going, boy, my ratios of sales are not that great. I'm getting so many people. I'm getting hardly any sales. And it's because they're really just getting a lot of not, unqualified people. So how do we kind of get through the muck? Have an on-site loan officer sitting there?
Ask them where they live right now.
Ask them where they live right now. Give me a 30-second. Bev, here. You haven't really said anything today.
I'm scared.
Bev, would I hurt you?
Yes.
Stand up.
Are you looking to buy immediately?
Stand up.
Yes, sir.
Come up here.
This is my nightmare right here.
First of all, I feel really so happy that you said I'm your nightmare right
this
here.
This is my nightmare.
So,
this is my nightmare.
My wife has said many things about that many times to me. You are my biggest nightmare. All right? My kids have said that. Help. You can't have any help, believe me. You and me are beyond help. All right. 30 seconds.
Yes, sir.
You've got a line of people coming through the door. Give me your 30-second qualifying speech. How do you figure out if I'm real or not?
Are you looking to buy immediately?
Am I looking to buy immediately?
Okay, how about this?
I don't know. I'm asking you. I don't know. She's got a couple. Hold on a second. Go ahead. Give me another one.
I don't know.
Give her a round of applause. She's very, very nervous. It's a very shy woman. Give me a 30-second. Figure out if I qualify real fast.
Well, alluding to what, I don't know about immediately, but what are your needs? What is your time frame? When would you like to be in your new dream home?
Right.
I mean,
Same thing.
similar, but immediately is more of a.
That's exactly what I said.
He was just so smooth.
Do you have a home to sell?
Do you have a home to
That's one of
sell?
the first things I always ask, because that is extremely important today. You know, especially, and it all depends. I think too, we all sell different types of housing. I have a lot of duplexes that gear toward middle-aged downsizing population. So 90% of my customers do have a home to sell, and they're not always immediate home buyers,
Right.
Because they already have a home. They're evaluating their living situation. They're sort of that middle age. So that's a little different, I think, than a townhome buyer or maybe even a single-family home buyer.
I think
all what we do here is different as far as the communities in which we work in.
Absolutely, but having a home to sell is important, especially in this community I'm talking about. What did I say to you? Most of the people who come in are so upside down in their home. If I'm dealing with someone who has a home to sell in that community, I'm pretty much going to go on to the next one if I've got a line of people coming in.
Sure, because you'll get those people, I'm just looking, and we love the community, because I get people in my community to come back 3-4 times. And, Steve, I'm almost there. I've got a home to sell. My kids are almost ready to go to college. We love the community. We love the setting. Because I think, too, stressing the community is just as important as stressing the builder.
And we're going to get to that at another day, another time, but absolutely. Go ahead.
I was going to say, ask them what type of investment range they're looking at doing.
Okay.
If you say investment, they might give you a monthly payment. They might give you a
Investment versus price question?
Right.
Okay.
I'm stronger in my seat. Now, from here, realistically, if you have, your question was you have 40 people coming in and
I'm
say to them, what you're not going to say to them, do you have a house to sell? I mean, you're
Hi.
just not.
You know what? Hi, how are you? Jay Shulman.
Do you have a house to sell? Are you
I'm the salesperson. Okay? Hi, how are you? Jay Shulman. Nice to meet you. Welcome to Classic Communities. Great. Did you find out about us on the internet?
I'm just looking.
You-
I'm just looking.
Thank you so much. Hi, how are you? Jay Shulman. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
What's your name?
Jeff.
Jeff, you found out us about our internet? How did you find out
I was
here?
browsing around the internet. I found it, was driving around, saw the sign, came in.
Perfect. We have, you could see, this is a crazy day.
I know.
But you know what?
I brought my checkbook.
And that's great. And it's crazy because we have unbelievable, we believe we have an unbelievable home. We have a great community. Right now, do you live in the area?
Yeah.
Do you have a home to sell?
Yes.
You do have a home to sell. Is it already listed?
No.
It isn't listed. This is what I'd like to do. I've got it. See, now we've just figured out. How serious are they? They might be serious, but if the home isn't listed yet, in today's market, not 2006's market, then it's probably going to be a while before they can buy a home, unless they can qualify for both, which is a possibility, but we're not getting there yet. We're just trying to figure out how to get through the muck of 40 people. And the reason why is because I really do deal with a community that has that kind of
Right,
traffic.
but guess what? No one in this room, nobody, is dealing with that situation that you're
Not yet, but we're dealing with a much smaller instance, but this hopefully could happen, and I just wanted to get through that. Regardless, 40 people, look, 40 people or 4 people, look, here's 40 people who come in between 10 and 6 o'clock at night in this typical community. You guys are open from 1 to 3.
for 3 days.
For 3 days? A lot of your communities are open for 1 day. Okay, for Sunday. So 40 to them is 40 you. All right? They're open 10 times longer than you guys. They're not open 3 hours for a week. They're open 40 hours a week. They're open, 12 times more than you are. So that 40 equals 4. So maybe you're not even getting 4 in a row right now. Football season, who knows? But the market will go back. It's not going to go back to 2005. Don't anyone get too excited. That is not happening. But it's going to start to bounce back, and we're going to start to see more traffic. I mean, I came into a couple of your homes, 6 months ago, and I came into a lot of those homes, and there were 4, 5, and 6 people. I think I came into yours, and there was probably 5 or 6 people in that house while I was there. There was a lot of traffic. All right? How do we deal and kind of separate, if we have to do that? We got to figure out some way, all right? I want to kind of move along because it's already like almost 10 after. Why are discovery questions important? Why do we even go through this process? To deal with the needs, to help somebody. Why else? To make the sale. But why else?
Well, you're qualifying so you know where to take them, to what model or what's going to suit their.
And it's all, and the real reason is because it's all part of the process. It's you know, we all have to sell based on who we are. Okay, we're all individual people. We all sell based on who we are as people. All right? There's no right or wrong way. But there is a process that we need to understand. And if we all follow the process, we could interject our own anything into it as long as the process stays the same. Right? So if the process is number 1, preparation, and number 2 is meet and greet, and number 3 is qualifying for needs, all right? There's no sense of demonstrating the home if we have not gone through the qualifying for needs. Because you might be showing me a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom home because that's just what you happen to have to show. But I need a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bathroom home. Or I need a 4-bedroom townhome, and you're only showing me a townhome that has dual master suites and nothing else. You could show me everything you have, but if it's not based on what I need as the buyer. See, if I'm the buyer, that's all that matters to me. I don't care what you have to sell. Because someone's told you, we really got to push this home because I've got 5 specs of the same model, and God bless you, and do what you need to do to sell this home. That is not my concern as a buyer. Okay? I'm not on your your plan. I'm not on your agenda. All right? So you need to gear everything towards me. Now, that home might be the perfect fit. But how are you going to know if we're just saying to people, feel free, go in on your own? Or, what brought you here today? All right? Or, how can I help you? I mean, how can I help you? I go to McDonald's and they say, can I help you? I don't want to go to McDonald's to buy a home. We need to take it to a whole other level. Right? I mean, a really important level. So that's why we do the discovery, all right? All right? And what are we trying to determine in the discovery? What do we want to know?
What their motivation is.
What their buying motivation is. That is the perfect answer. Okay? That really is the perfect answer. Thank you. All right? What is my motivation for buying? I have to have a reason. In 2005, I did not need a reason to buy a home. My reason to buy a home was, I just made $100,000 on this one, and I think if I make another $100,000 on this one, I could retire. And the people who did that are now in the hole $200,000. All right? So I've got to have a reason. I've got to have a motivation to buy. And it could be growing family. It could be job relocation. Right? It could be, I don't know, downsizing, which is a big thing now. All right, it could be parents moving in with the older parents moving in with their kids. It could be that. All right, I mean, it could be a lot of reasons. But if we don't do the discovery to find out what is the real reason, and not the surface reason that I'm going to tell you, because I'm not going to be that open at first. I'm just not. I don't know you well enough to be that open. But if we build that rapport and create that urgency and we find that the discovery, we're going to find out what my real motivation is for buying a home. And it might be, you know what? Here's the thing. I have to have a first floor master suite. And you look at me and you say, Jay, you're not that old. No, you can't say that. But if you want to lose your license, you can. And then we start to do discovery and we find out, well, here's the situation. My dad has to move in with us. I can't have him in the basement. because it just gets cold on it, and then he has to deal with steps. I can't have him upstairs because I just don't want him dealing with steps. I've got to have a first floor master suite, and I've got to have something quick. That's a pretty good indication of my buying motivation, don't you think? I mean, that is out there for you. And if I'm telling you that, you're not going to start showing me your 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath with everything upstairs. You might show me something with a library downstairs that we can change for you into a bedroom, and we can convert that half bathroom into a full bathroom for you. You might do that, but now the presentation, it all changes, doesn't it? It's no longer the standard, this is what we offer, this is what you're buying. Right? So we have to find out the real motivation on every single person that comes through the door. And right now, I'm going to go back to it. We've got, a 35-minute presentation and a nice, and I think a really nice job, and a 30-minute presentation, and I think a really nice job, and I think there might have been one other that was about 25 minutes or something like that. But everything else was, and this is across the board. Feel free, go through the home on your own. And if you have any questions, let me know. That has to stop today. I mean, it's your pockets. It cannot continue. You're not going to make any money, and you're going to get burnt out. Because when you don't make any money, that's just what you do. You just go, this isn't working. And you try the same thing again next week, and you do the same approach. Well, the definition of insanity is, right? Do the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. If I'm doing the same thing for 50 people that have come through the door and asking them to go in on their own and let me know if you have any questions, and it hasn't worked yet, the light should go on, and it should be, maybe I need to try a different approach. Maybe. And I might be 100% wrong, all right? But if you don't at least try it, then you're going to continue to do the same exact thing that you were doing, and you're going to get the same results, which really is not, is not gangbusters. I think everyone here has their own personal goals and, financial goals and just regular, internal goals and family goals that you guys want to achieve, and we've got to change up the game a little bit, all right? So that's all I'm asking. Just trust that, you should be spending 40 minutes with a prospect, an hour with a prospect, an hour and a half with a prospect. You shouldn't worry about getting them in and out. You shouldn't be, okay, and I'm telling you this from experience. I mean, I sold new homes for a lot of years, all right? At 5 to 4, when you close at 4 o'clock and a car pulls up, you shouldn't be looking out the window going, damn. And honestly, I know that people here do that. People everywhere do that. It's just human nature. But in a business that we're only open a few hours a week, we've got to take it to the next level. Someone comes in at 5 to 4, all right? And I come in and I go, you still open? And you go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Nope, closing. Doesn't work. You say, sure, I'm here. Welcome to Classic Communities. And you start the presentation all over again, and you do it happily because you've got a body that just cost you $1,200 to get in there. All right? Are there any questions, comments, anything? All right? Not bad. All right, 12:15. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. I know Doug and Jim appreciate it. And please go out there and sell. Oh, and stick around. You know what? Laura has some builder stories to give out to everyone. She has a packet for everybody, so you can take those back.
Member up to me, and I'll get those to you.